This video is about spring break trip options for 2025. During this presentation, I'm going to present information about 3 trips. Then you're going to have the opportunity to provide some feedback after the presentation. I'm going to look over the feedback, then narrow down our possibilities, and from that I could modify itineraries, I could combine experiences from the ideas presented, or I could look into other trip ideas based on your feedback. Your feedback is going to help me determine the best trip for the band for next school year, and I'm hoping that the decision will be made by the end of January. Expect commitment and a $400 to $500 down payment due in either March or April. I'd like to provide you with a little bit of background about me and my travel experiences. I've traveled to 41 states and 43 countries. Here are some pictures of us at Machu Picchu in Peru, at the Colosseum in Rome, and at Taj Mahal in India. Here are a few more pictures in Sydney, Australia, at the Great Wall of China, and at Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So I have extensive experience both planning and traveling as a family and with school groups. Also, I am a travel advisor on the side. My wife and I book travel, mainly cruises and all-inclusive resorts for clients. I'm an independent booking agent for the company Cruise Brothers, who is an affiliate of Travel Leaders Network, one of the largest travel booking companies in the United States. I'll be using my knowledge and experience in the travel industry to create an incredible experience for students, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to use my connections as a booking agent to provide discounts in order to keep the price as low as possible. So now I'm going to discuss the 3 different trips that we are considering. First of all, New York City. This trip will consist of the typical New York City experiences, including Central Park, Rockefeller Center, where the Christmas tree is, and the skating rink, along with NBC Studios, Wall Street, 1 or 2 Broadway shows, visiting the 9/11 Memorial, the Statue of Liberty, and then other typical New York City experiences. In terms of performances, we would have a clinic somewhere in New York City, and we would likely consider some other indoor performance somewhere. Last time we were in New York, we performed at Trump Tower. This likely would not be an option this time around. So general information about this trip, it will consist of 3 nights in New York City, likely bus transportation to and from New York City. The estimated price is $1,700 to $2,000 per person. There is a band within 30 miles of our area that is going to New York this year, and their price for a very similar trip is $1,750 per person. Some positive things about this trip. There are some great experiences in New York City. The trip is only 5 days long, so you're not spending the entire spring break on a trip with a band, and it's a relatively easy trip to plan. Negative items and concerns. Most of the experiences are indoors. I know in March many people want to go to a warmer destination. Performance opportunities are very limited in March, so all of our performances would need to be scheduled indoors. Weather in March can be unpredictable. The last 2 times I've been to New York in March, it has snowed on me. Many meals would not be included in the price, mainly lunches while in New York City, and meals during our transport to and from New York City. And this trip is not a very good bang for your buck. We're looking at $500 to $600 per night. Second option is Disney World. So this would consist of the typical Disney World experiences, including the 4 main theme parks of the Magic Kingdom, Epcot Center, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. In terms of performance experiences, we'd have a clinic at Epcot Center. It's a really great clinic in which you work with Disney faculty to record along with a Disney video, and then we would perform somewhere on the Disney property. So the general information about Disney World would be 5 or 6 days at Disney World, and we possibly could add other Orlando activities. This could include Kennedy Space Center or Cocoa Beach. It would be air transportation to Disney World, and estimation of the price is between $1,800 and $2,400 per student. Positive items about this trip. There are some great possible performance experiences. Disney is a lot of fun for high school students, and this is a relatively easy trip to plan and administer. Negative items and concerns about this trip. Many of the meals would not be included in the price, and Disney meals can range from $10 all the way to over $30 each. Disney is very, very busy in March, and students will spend a lot of time standing in lines. And it's not the best bang for your buck. Option 3 is a Caribbean cruise. So with a cruise, all entertainment on the ship is included. This includes all the Broadway shows, the surf simulator, which is called a flow rider, the aqua theater, the ice skating rink, the pools, the climbing wall, and many other things on the cruise ship. There are professional performances everywhere. The last cruise we went on had the Broadway show Cats. Ones that we're considering this time around has the Broadway show We Will Rock You. Last time we had a private performance by the cruise musicians. You get to see the ice skating show and music everywhere. Whether it's a jazz ensemble, rock bands, combos, there is music everywhere on the ship. In terms of performance opportunities for the band, on the last cruise we got to perform on stage at the cruise ship, and this likely would be a performance opportunity this year. We also got to perform on the last day of the cruise at their aqua theater outside, which was an outstanding experience. We'll also be considering performance opportunities off of the ship. Last year we got to perform in Miami before getting on the ship, and perhaps the highlight performance of the entire trip was performing at a school in Honduras. Students and chaperones also appreciated the unique experiences of the cruise. Students got to go zip lining. As I mentioned earlier, we got to perform at a school in Honduras. We got to visit some Mayan ruins in Mexico. We got to explore the streets of Cozumel. We got to do some animal encounters, including holding sloths and monkeys. Some students did some dolphin swimming and manatee swimming and snorkeling. So a lot of really neat opportunities on a cruise. All meals are included on the cruise. So this includes buffet breakfast, a buffet lunch, and then dinner in the main dining room. And then there's a pizza place that's open all day long, and cafes open with food and sandwiches and beverages and desserts. There is food everywhere on the cruise ship. So when choosing a cruise, we just don't pick one out of the blue. There are two things I'm looking for. So first of all is the cruise line and the ship. Secondly is the itinerary. And both make a significant difference in the cruise experience. So as I mentioned, the ship really makes a difference in the overall trip experience. In 2018, the band took a cruise on the Majesty of the Seas. It was a pretty small ship. You can see it in front of you right now. And then last year, we took our cruise on the Oasis of the Seas. And Oasis class cruise ships have so much more to offer for the cruisers on the ship. So a little bit about the ship from last year. It was an Oasis class ship, and it consists of an aqua theater in which they do these aqua acrobat shows. It consists of an ice skating rink in which they have Russian ice skaters. It consists of a very, very nice theater in which they show the Broadway musical Cats. It has a water park and several pools on board. The ship had a boardwalk with a carousel. Has a flow rider, which is a surf simulator. Has a climbing wall, which overlooks the ocean as well as the aqua theater. And a park in the middle of the ship called Central Park. So for Caribbean cruises, there are 4 cruises that I've been keeping an eye on. The first is a 6-night cruise on the Oasis of the Seas. This is the same ship that the band sailed on last year. It consists of port stops, first of all, in Labadee, Haiti. Labadee is a private peninsula owned and operated by Royal Caribbean. It is bordered off from the rest of Haiti, so it is a very safe destination. On the peninsula, all food is provided by Royal Caribbean. There are some excursions that students can do, including snorkeling and the alpine slides and zip lining and beautiful beaches. It is an absolutely gorgeous setting. The ship also stops in Coco Cay, Bahamas. This is a private island owned and operated by Royal Caribbean. It has a water park in the middle of the island with the tallest water slide in North America. You do have to pay extra for the water park. All food on the island is provided by Royal Caribbean. It has gorgeous beaches, great snorkeling, volleyball, basketball courts, a free pool, and a lot of great things to do on the island. And then the last port is Falmouth, Jamaica. Jamaica is really well known for waterfall experiences. Also, river tubing or river rafting are very popular experiences in Jamaica. We also might be able to consider a performance at a school in Jamaica. When contacting an agency there, they said they could assist us in perhaps performing at the same school where Usain Bolt went. So lots of nice things to do in Jamaica. So the next cruise is 8 nights on the Freedom of the Seas. This ship is slightly smaller than the Oasis of the Seas, or the ship that the band went on last year. Does not have an aqua theater, does not have a central park, does not have a boardwalk, but it has a water park and great pools. And I know students would thoroughly enjoy their time on this ship. So this is an 8-night cruise, and it includes 4 stops rather than 3. The first one being the beautiful beach destination of Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. The second stop being St. Thomas. The third stop being St. Kitts. When I was in St. Kitts last, we did zip lining, and it was a great experience. You can also go and explore a fort in St. Kitts. Then the last stop is St. Martin, which is half Dutch and half French. Something very popular to do in St. Martin is to go to Moho Beach, where you can be on a beach and have airplanes fly right above you. The next cruise I'm keeping an eye on is a 7-night cruise on the Wonder of the Seas. This is currently Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, and it is a sister ship of the Oasis of the Seas. So it is very, very similar to the ship that we went on last year. It's a little bit newer and a little bit nicer. This 7-night cruise stops in Coco Cay, Bahamas. Also stops in St. Thomas and St. Martin as well. And the last cruise is a 7-nighter on the Symphony of the Seas. The Symphony of the Seas is another sister ship to the Oasis of the Seas. This one is slightly newer. It's a little bit bigger than the Oasis of the Seas, perhaps by a meter or two. I don't think students would really find much of a difference if they were on this one in comparison to the Oasis of the Seas. This is a cruise that I really like. I really like the ship. I really like the itinerary. And at the moment, the cruise is kind of a mid-range cruise in terms of price. It consists of a stop in Coco Cay, Bahamas. It consists of a stop at San Juan, Puerto Rico. And when we were scheduled to go on a cruise in 2020 that was canceled, we were supposed to perform in Plaza de Armas, which is the main square in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I would hope that we'd have that opportunity again this year. And then it stops in St. Martin as well. So some general information about the cruise. We discussed 1 6-nighter, 2 7-nighters, and 1 8-nighter, so we were looking at either a 6 through an 8-night cruise. The total length of the trip would be 7 to 9 nights, and that's because we would arrive 1 day before the cruise leaves. It would be air transportation, and then the estimated price is between $1,500 and $2,200 per person. Why such a wide price range? Well, first of all, the cruises all range in price, and the prices do fluctuate. Right now, the cruises could fall anywhere from $700 to $1,400 per person. Airfare can fall anywhere from $300 to $1,000 per person. 1 night in a hotel could either be $40 all the way up to $75 per person. Airport transfers would be $100 to $150 per person. And then just some miscellaneous expenses such as shirts, random meals, and whatnot, around $100 per person. So if we were to get really lucky on prices for everything and get the cheapest price on everything, the price could be under $1,300. I don't think this is going to happen, but it certainly could. Then if we were to max everything out and pay the most that we could for everything, the price would be about $2,725. So I'm kind of estimating somewhere in the middle, somewhere between $1,500 and $2,200 per person. So positive items to consider regarding a cruise: unique and fun experiences, great performance experiences. I do believe it's a great bang for your buck. I like the supervision model with students, and I like that most meals are included. There's also a diverse array of experiences and great cultural experiences on a cruise. Negative items and concerns about a cruise. It still is an expensive trip. It's also difficult to accurately predict the cost of a cruise at this point. Many of the excursions are not included for a cruise. For most parts, there are free experiences that can be considered for students who would not like to do an excursion, or perhaps experiences that don't cost quite as much money, like excursions that are $40 or $50. And then lastly, passports will be required for all participants on a cruise. So here are my thoughts on all of the trips. So for New York, I think there are some great sightseeing experiences. Everybody does want to see New York and should see it sometime. Good performances to attend. I don't believe that there are the best band performances in New York City, especially this time of year. And weather can be sketchy in March in New York City. For Disney, this is a great trip and generally very popular with families. Good performance experiences. The price can get a little high, especially after paying for extra meals, and I don't feel this is the best bang for your buck. For the Caribbean cruise, I think this is a fabulous trip and would once again love to bring students on a Caribbean cruise. I believe there are great performance opportunities, great cultural experiences, very little waiting in line. Students are always going to have something active to do, whether it's on the cruise ship or in port. Lots of great food, incredible music performances by professional musicians on the ship. And as I've stated, this is my preferred trip. I think this would be an absolute blast for students and a great educational experience. So in the handout is a link to a parent questionnaire. The general questions on the parent questionnaire are basically, what do you feel about your son or daughter attending a band trip during the 24-25 school year? Does it depend on the price, or will they likely not be attending, or does it depend on the trip? And what kind of trips would you support? And what questions or concerns do you have about trips? So this is an opportunity for you as parents to provide me with some feedback about the different options. So looking at the timeline, I'm asking that this parent questionnaire is due by next Wednesday, December 20th. Then by mid-January, I'd like to narrow down the trip possibilities. And by the end of February, I'd for sure like to have the trip chosen. And then expect a first payment due in March. And this is so that we can reserve airfare if the opportunity presents itself, as well as any experiences that we need to put down payments on in order to lock in the price. In April or May, there is the possibility of a second payment due. I do want to avoid this if we can, but if needed to have more payments due in order to lock in some of the prices, we might need to do that. And hopefully our second payment will not be due until September. That is the master plan. And my inkling is that we would make a payment in March and we won't need to wait until September. But I do need to put out the possibility of a second payment being due in April or May. In terms of fundraising, we will continue to do the coupon book fundraiser each fall. Students do earn $14 per book sold. They also earn a free book for every 5 books sold as well. So this is a great fundraiser. Students also earn referral bonuses for the Matches fundraiser each year, and I've had students make $200 to $300 at a time when they put some effort into it. And then I'd also like to highlight our new fundraiser, our gas card fundraiser. So this fundraiser is run by the Menominee Band Boosters, and the nuts and bolts of the fundraiser is that the Band Boosters are purchasing gift cards for local gas stations at a discounted price. And then students are going to sell the gift cards at face value. And then the profits are set aside for students' individual expenses for our future band trips. Now, students can approach this fundraiser as either an active fundraiser or a passive fundraiser. In terms of this being an active fundraiser, students can go out and about in the community. They can email friends and family, post on social media to actively sell the gift cards. And then, of course, students will earn the money to put towards future band trips. In terms of taking a passive approach to this fundraiser, students can sell gift cards to parents and grandparents each month, and then parents can use the gift cards to buy gas rather than paying for their gas with cash or credit card. And then again, the student earns the money for future band trips. So basically, this is just families taking a different approach towards buying gas. There are 2 gas stations who we are partnering with for this fundraiser. First is Quick Trip. Then the second is Mega Holiday, and make sure you are distinguishing the difference between holiday and mega holiday because only mega holidays accept the gift cards. For Quick Trip, we are earning 5% profit for the gas and gift cards sold. So if a student sells a $100 gift card, they will make $5. For the Quick Trip grocery cards, we are making 15% profit. So if the student sells a $100 grocery gift card, he or she will earn $15 profit. Then lastly, I think this is a really good deal for the car wash cards. We are selling 5-count Ultimate Car Wash cards for $36, which is already a great price, and then the student earns $16 profit. Then for Mega Holiday, once again for Mega Holiday and not Holiday because Holiday will not accept the gift cards. For these ones, we are making 10% profit. So if the student sells a $100 gift card, the student earns $10 per gift card. Now, we realize there are no mega holidays in Menominee, but there are mega holidays in Eau Claire, and we do want to present the opportunity to sell these gift cards because we know there are families in the band who commute to Eau Claire or go to Eau Claire quite frequently, and we think this could be a great opportunity for them to make some money for this fundraiser. Order forms for the fundraiser are available in MHS Band News and Notes. They are also available to students in Google Classroom. A reminder, this is an ongoing fundraiser. We are going to be collecting orders every month so students can continue to do this fundraiser leading all the way up to the band trip. So parents, please take a moment and fill out the questionnaire. And of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to me.